lei è Sophy, un'artista cantonese, l'abbiamo contattata da un regista che era venuto a Torino a fare un video per un'altra artista cantonese, quindi siamo qui per farle delle domande su quello che è la musica appunto cantonese vista dal punto di vista di un artista qui. So, you are a Cantonese artist, is correct? Cantonese, it's okay. And I asked my friend what is Cantonese music, so because I have a friend in Hong Kong, he told me that the Cantonese music is something that is really, really pop and really close, because in China they didn't listen to the Cantonese music, something like that. I don't know if it's true, but it's right.
When you talk about like Hong Kong market, I think it's the main audience for Canton pop because this is our language. But there are audiences in China. But I think these days, especially these 20 years, in Hong Kong we value Canton pop very much because it's our language. It makes us feel like we connect to the music more. But there are still audiences in, for example, Guangzhou. Like Guangdong, it's like an area of province where most people speak Cantonese too. So it's not just Hong Kong. So some area, mostly the southern, would speak Cantonese too. And so I think that would be the audience for Canton pop as well.
It's hard to try to begin to be known or something like that. It's possible, or it's very seen that it's closed, the Cantonian.
Right. I do think there are obstacles for artists, especially in my case because I'm not signed to a big label. So it's quite hard to spread our music. These days I feel like Hong Kong audiences, they would also be drawn to like K-pop, you know, they would listen to music on the Billboard, like from America. So it is quite difficult and it's getting more and more difficult. That's why in my music I try to blend more genres. Like you said, you feel like it's a little bit different because I'm independent, I have more freedom to create the styles that I personally enjoy and I can share it with my audiences. So I'm trying to expand that sound more.
The old scene here in Hong Kong, it's so powerful and it's hard to, you know, to break this wall between the new scene and the old scene. Yeah. Because in Italy it's something like that.
Really?
But it's I think less in the last years, but the old pop music, you know, the old scene of the pop music is a little bit close.
It's similar.
It's similar.
Because in the 80s, Hong Kong music, it's very popular. Like
Beyond.
Yeah, oh, you know.
Yeah, absolutely. I've studied.
They're really popular, and Hong Kong industry was leading Asia market. And we kind of export artists out. So Hong Kong would be the kind of like the trendy, like the trendsetter in Asia for music-wise. But these days, I feel like since, like what I said, like in China they have their own artists, Taiwan has their own artists, and with internet people get to listen to many different artists across the world. And I feel like within our industry the system is not so well developed that they can connect the old generation that are super successful with the up and coming trying to make it young artists. So I feel like we're facing the same kind of, I don't know how you say it, like the break of gap with old and new.
You used to play some instrument because you produce music. So you used to play
piano.
Okay, you play piano.
And so program.
And your production are mixed by something that is MIDI and something that is audio, or
mixed up everything.
You mix everything.
I think there's a transition of sounds in the way I make my own music.
Electronic. I've heard something that is very electronic.
Yeah, electronic based. So the first one would be more analog, like audio, instrument, organic sound. A lot of like real instrument tracking. And then from the second project, they are a lot more electronic based because I feel like the possibilities is a lot bigger, and also when it comes to resource and cost, with the powerful computers, with programs, if you have a great idea and concept, actually they can create something that organic sounds cannot, or even beyond that.
Yeah.
I mean, I still love jamming with real musicians instead of just computers. But when it comes to production, I feel like these days I use sampling a lot, so maybe I can send like a file to a guitarist, and then I would ask him to just jam on it, you know, just play whatever you feel like.
And then you sample some part of
and then I cut it, and then I edit.
Something that I do too.
Yeah, you do too.
Absolutely.
This is not the common way in Hong Kong music production, but in my case, with the sampling and editing that I just mentioned, it's a younger generation style. It's quite common, but in Hong Kong, people are catching up to that trend to exploring the possibility of using program-based. The classic Canton pop definition, I would say the lyrics would be a lot more important than musicality.
Something that I've noticed in these days, Spotify for example, we have numbers that are more big than yours. I don't know why. Why you have, or you use other social networks or other channel to spread music. Why?
If you ask me the reason why, I think there are many factors. I would say, as I said, like the China market opened up first. So we cannot export our music as much as before. Second, the younger generation, I feel like they are drawn to Korean pop now. It's almost like a cycle, right? And then these 10 years, Korea, it's boosting so strong. Loads of budget, loads of resources, big production, many idols, pretty faces. So third, I would say the record company, they would invest more in the old artist than the new artist, because statistically they see that if I invest in a new artist, there's a bigger chance for me to lose out money maybe next year. It's quite like a human reaction to kind of stay in a safe spot. As I am the young artist, of course I would love to see people opening up and try new things. But I can also see that as a factor to what you ask. Like, that's why we don't have enough resources to boost the younger ones. Most of the promotion and spotlights are given to the older artists. In the past, it's mostly the radio and television. They have the music charts. They kind of tell people, ooh, who's hot, right? Who's good. But in Hong Kong, less and less people have like attachment to that. They feel like, oh, I choose my own music. But in Hong Kong, Spotify is not as popular. Well, I use Spotify because I work in music, so I want to listen to global stuff. But for Hong Kong audience, we have a few called KK Box, which is from Taiwan. We have Move, Hong Kong based. So these would be the platforms that are like Spotify. But radio, I don't think they follow these yet. Radio has their own judgment. Each platform has their own charts. All different. So audience would be like, huh? You know, like they don't really know what is good and bad. So at the end of the day, most people just look at the YouTube, how many views.
And are more important in Hong Kong or in China, I don't know, the old media or the new media, according to you?
For me, it's definitely new media.
New media are more followed by the young generation, old generation, maybe.
Yeah, because most of the interviews that I received, they're online. Online media, online page. I think radio, they have their own preference, so it's not as quick to respond. But for online media, if they see something they like, they can inbox you. So it's faster. And I feel like it can reach more people. It can reach the audience that I want.
You want,
Yeah.
And what are your strategies or your projects for the future? You have some, some goals or some.
I'm actually working on like a very electronic based, talking about some city phenomenon that I've seen. It's a new experience for me, and Taiwan is also a very interesting market. Last year I was there for a little performance, like for a music festival. Hong Kong, I think one or two big ones. In Taiwan, they have a lot more music events. So I kind of want to try and develop a little bit in there.
It's important for you to export your music and the culture of your country.
Yeah, because I do feel like what I'm doing, it's not typical Canton pop, because it's different. So I won't expect like a lot of local audiences to be used to it, so it takes time. These days there's no limit. There's no rule. I think in the past there are more rules of if you do this, it will work. But I think in this time,
audience can decide.
And they would find you as well, because they get to choose what they like. So for me, actually, I just focus on making songs that I feel for, because I do a bit of like electronic music and R&B and kind of Asian style songwriting, and then blend them together. That really helps me to express myself. So apart from like vocal design, I use a lot of different pieces of sound together to create like a basic structure, and then I write my melody on top, and then from there I would do a more like detailed arrangement, transition, and then I'll work with a lyricist. I would do it from the zero till the end, seeing the process. But then many friends can help as well.
Just trying to stop to use plugin and synthesizer, digital synthesizer, something like that, because I think that when you take something, take a sample, take a sound, and work on it, it's more original. You can reach, you can
the uniqueness.
Exactly.
When you take a sample, the sound is organic. But when you produce it, the way you edit it is quite digital. So there's like a interesting combination of something electronical with something organic. In my case, I love to mix them.
Me too.
Especially my vocal, because I love singing. So I think with vocal, there are many effects you can do already. Like you can reverse it, pitch it up, pitch it down, stretch it. So there's so many audio effects these days.
I'm trying to put some microphone around my studio to sample everything. I have this piano that is out of tune.
That's awesome.
But it's beautiful because it sounds
texture.
Exactly. So I used to sample it everywhere because I think that it's more original. It's something that no one can do like this. Maybe better, but not like this.
That's very interesting, because I think this generation people want to find something unique.
Absolutely.
Artists, audiences, something unique. That sampling and the program technology allows us to do something so different from the past.
Yeah.
So many new possibilities. You can open a project and you can delete it and start again, right? So I think it's quite important to keep pushing it to find all these possibilities and make it your own, and make it like my sound.
I think that music and art in general must be something that is unique. Absolutely.
Definitely.
And it's why I'm here and I'm trying to travel and meet artists and something like that. One last question.
Right.
I think that in Italy, this period, we took some characteristics and some genre of American music, like trap music. Okay, you know trap music.
Trap music. Yeah.
Okay, so in these days in Italy we listen, we play and write a lot of trap music.
It's the trend.
There is something that is American because America
pop music style.
export this culture.
Yeah.
So I want to ask to you if it's possible, according to you, to your point of view, that Asian music and Asian culture will export something that in the other countries will be so strong that in the other countries could be played in our language.
I think it is possible.
Because we have food that is Asian, you know, like sushi or Chinese food. So it's possible that music culture could be exported, and when and how.
Because Canton pop music is so heavily based in lyrics, other people want to follow. But I feel like there's like a sentiment behind everyone that they need to be provoked. They need to be told like, hey, this is the new kind of thing, and then we can progress creatively. In Cantonese songs, sometimes people use Chinese instruments as well.
Yeah.
That's also quite interesting. And also Cantonese language, when you sing it or when you produce around that language, it's actually quite sophisticated, because in Cantonese we have I think 8 sounds. Like let's say ma, 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 ma. They all mean different things.
Okay, no, in Italian we don't have it.
Right? So in R&B you can sing like ooh yeah, many different notes, and it means oh yeah, okay? But in Cantonese you cannot. Because ma, 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 they all mean different things. So if you twist the ma, then the song meaning is completely different. So I think there's a certain sophistication when it comes to putting lyrics in Cantonese, because you need to fit the pitch with the meaning, and if you want to bend the notes, it's not that easy. That's why when you listen to Cantonese pop, all the notes quite straight.
Beautiful.
But
Cantonesian people are more tuned because they are used to when they were a child.
I guess.
No?
I don't know. Well, I think that's why it's so lyrically driven. It's not as like groove or party music. It's more storytelling. It's more conversational, like shorter, choppy, and also in Hong Kong lyricists, like the famous ones, we pay a lot of respect to them because it's almost like writing poems.
Yeah.
Because you have different tones, you have to match the meaning and the tone with the pitch in the music melody. So imagine like you can only say baby in baby. You cannot say baby. No, you cannot. So it's very interesting. So I think that's something very unique in Cantonese. So I would say the language itself and the culture of this kind of storytelling. So that is something quite unique.
And you use some instrument Chinese or just typical instrument in your production?
Because I use sampling, so I don't think it's really a unique technique itself. Content itself would be unique, but the instrument I play these days, you know, piano or program,
more standard.
it's quite standard. It's more about how you use something really standard, but it's the way you use it, or the message in it. I think that's more important than how you do it. It's what you want to express, because no one can speak the same story as you do.
For me, it's strange that you have this type of instrument and you didn't use it.
It is not like a common pop music sound. For my next project, I have a song that it's more Chinese music style, and we've seen it, like, it's not all the time, but we've seen this kind of fusion.
It depends.
I think it depends on what the song calls for.
Absolutely. Okay, so thank you very much. You were great.
Thank you, Jack.
Allora ragazzi, è stato bellissimo, super interessante. Questa cosa della lingua intonata mi ha scioccato, perché effettivamente lo sapevo ma non ci avevo mai pensato, quindi bellissimo. E spero che proverò a mettere dei sottotitoli, soprattutto per le mie domande che sono un po' ibride, un inglese-italiano che è un po' a caso, mentre il suo era perfetto, grazie a Dio, quindi almeno quello che ha detto lei sicuramente sarà ben chiaro. Però insomma, per me è stato veramente interessante, spero anche per voi, e niente, ci sentiamo alla prossima. Ciao.